Warden, the poster boy of For Honor. Raider, having had his time in the limelight being the oppressive king of both duels and dominion alike. Tiandi, a character who went from being a gimmick pick to one of the most versatile heroes in the game. And Warmonger, the rising star among the Vanguards. Maybe not all of these heroes were or still are the best picks out there, but each one had, at one point, seen their time in the sun. Throughout all the time that had passed between the prime of these heroes and today, there was one who watched it all, patiently waiting on the sideline for their turn. New releases would come and go. Patch note after patch note would bring many of their contemporaries out from irrelevancy. And yet, when it came time for their bell to toll, it seemed like Ubisoft simply didn't care anymore. And you know what? Who could blame them? From their reputation as the game's premier noob pick, their adequacy in team fighting game modes making them not a total detriment to a composition, and a community that sometimes settles for mediocrity. Today, my dear viewer, I want to tell you a tale of perhaps For Honor's biggest tragedy. This is the story of Kensei, the Overshadowed Vanguard. Now the year is 2017. Ubisoft has made possibly the second biggest mistake they will ever make in their entire time as a company. You know, as long as you don't count those ones. And from that mistake, For Honor was born. This is where Kensei's story starts, as the game's premier samurai. Though many would probably find that odd, as in basically every single form of official art, marketing, and even the campaign itself, Orochi takes the limelight as the samurai, which is surely not a sign of anything to come, right? Unlike every other hero I have taken time to look back on in a retrospective light, Kensei is one where, to this very day, any player can see what their original moveset looked like, as there is a mission within the campaign that features Ayu, the story mode's protagonist Kensei. For Honor's campaign has been what I assume is purposely left in an unupdated state, so that the state of balance within the story mode remains the original way the developers intended it to be on launch. Thanks to this decision, or oversight, or laziness, or what is most likely, a combination of all three, I'm able to present to you the original iteration of Kensei back on For Honor's launch almost 9 years ago. Kensei had their basic light and heavy chains, though interestingly you couldn't finish a chain with a hyper armor light like you can today. In fact, no hyper armor lights at all. All dodge attacks were also slightly different. Firstly, no dodge forward heavy, so the funny nature's Wrath guard break stuffs couldn't happen back then. But interestingly, all of their dodge attacks existed on only the light inputs, which today might not sound too weird since there is no standardized input for dodge attacks, but was actually quite the hindrance back in old For Honor. Wrapping up the incredibly basic moveset Kensei had in these days, finisher heavies in all directions were the same as today. Side heavies giving hyper armor and top heavies giving the slower unblockable with additional damage. This top unblockable finisher could also be soft feinted like today, but if you take a close look at the footage provided, I'm showing you the latest possible timing you could input the soft feint. As you would probably notice, both heavies and lights come out at a much sooner timing, which will be important to remember later. Their zone was also a bit different, having really early hyper armor but only having an unfaintable 2-attack chain. But beyond that, this is simply all Kensei had upon launch. In today's For Honor, this moveset would be simply unplayable, but that's not really a fair comparison. We have to remember that at this point in time, the competitive integrity of the game existed in a very primitive state. The game was fresh and new, and even the best players had relatively very little knowledge about the inner workings of the game. This was a time where Warden's only unblockable was his very janky shoulder bash, Orochi was the game's resident light spammer with his 400 millisecond lights, and Shigoki could straight up kill you with a single move from neutral. It cannot be stressed how the first couple years of For Honor's life was nothing but the wild, wild west. While the power scale oscillated wildly from character to character, the main thing holding back the true capabilities of most heroes were the players themselves. It's not exactly the most revolutionary idea to believe that, as time went on, players became better and better at the game. What was becoming increasingly clear by the passing of just a single year is that most players had at least gotten used to the way the game was intended to be played. Light attacks, even on old-gen consoles, were able to be at least blocked on reaction. The community was daring enough to make their own ratings with confidence, and outcry for better balancing was finally getting a tangible voice within the greater For Honor sphere. I bring this all up because to the uninitiated, Kensei's original moveset may sound underwhelming but completely manageable for times contemporary to whatever this is, but that simply wasn't the case. The player base began to notice cracks in the kits of many heroes, Kensei being no exception to this rule. If you are especially astute, you probably noticed that I made no mention of any neutral soft feints in Kensei's kit. That is because the only move that was soft feintable at this time was the final top finisher heavy at the end of their chain. They had no neutral bash soft feint, nor the neutral light or heavy soft feints. Like I stated before, these soft feints also came out on a really early timing. The mix-up could be completely avoided with a single universal dodge timing. On top of that, without a dodge forward heavy, Kensei in these times also existed in a similar state to Conqueror a few months ago. If you simply didn't want to engage with their mix-up, you could roll away, and there were very little options that Kensei had to prevent you from doing so. These are all flaws people began to exploit in Kensei's kit early on, though it's not exactly like they have ever been known for their offense. Kensei has always traded traditional offensive tools in favor of larger hitboxes, decent peels, and simple chains. Where Kensei always shined, however, is in their defensive options, which were, in these days, similarly exploitable. Having their dodge attack on the light input in Old For Honor meant that each dodge attack was a light parry, which sounds pretty obvious today. I mean, all dodge attacks are light parries, but this was a change that only happened relatively recently in For Honor's history. Before, all dodge attacks had their own distinctive severity of parry, all depending on the input the hero needed to perform the attack. These dodge attacks also did not skip Kensei's chain, meaning they could not immediately start a hyper armored heavy afterwards like you can today. On top of that, his dodge attacks only inflicted a medium hit stun, meaning that chain heavies were guaranteed stuffable with a light attack, and lights would trade with the Kensei and set both players back to neutral. These were flaws that straight up made Kensei a bottom tier duelist alongside Berserker. Most even somewhat competent duelists could simply stare at these two heroes and react to everything they did. And I know that is such a cop-out thing to say about characters in For Honor since basically forever. Like, why don't you just react, man?
I want my third beat.
Oh my god. When I uploaded the Gladiator video, people were talking about how this character's fucking broken. I'm literally just dodging everything on reaction. Okay, missed my mix-up. This character's so shit. How do people complain about this guy? But I must once again stress that Old For Honor was extremely archaic. If you can react to standard light attacks today, you could be considered one of the best duelists of year 1 For Honor. Attacks were slower on average, there was no mechanic that hid indicators for all attacks for the first 100 milliseconds of the startup, and many heroes had such telegraphed animations that meant in addition to reacting to the red arrow indicator that popped up, you could also react to the movements the character did to differentiate them from other moves. By the end of For Honor's first year, something was very apparent to Ubisoft. Kensei was in very dire need of some well-deserved care. And so, in Year 2, Season 1, title update Age of Wolves, Kensei, along many other heroes who suffered from similar weaknesses, would all be reworked simultaneously. This rework aimed to vanquish two vices. Firstly, Kensei's kit was entirely reactable. Secondly, Kensei's identity as the mix-up artist was kind of null and void when you could just roll away or dodge on a universal timing. And so this rework was, oddly enough, Ubisoft's first and only effort to bring Kensei up to date with the rest of the cast. Light and heavy chains were sophisticated as well as incorporated more deeply into the soft feint chain. The pommel strike was added as their first real opener. The timings for soft feints would be brought in line to create a true mix-up, and much of their frame data regarding hit stun and recovery values would allow for Kensei to have frame advantage where it was rightfully earned. In addition, the dodge attacks were finally put on a heavy button input. Now, when I said that this was Ubisoft's first and only effort to modernize Kensei, I meant it. This was the final iteration of Kensei, finalized on February 15th, 2018. In the last video, I made a pretty big deal about Gladiator not getting an update since 2020, but Kensei has faced almost 2 additional years with very little changes. To put that in perspective, everything we've been talking about up until this point has only occurred within this portion of For Honor's lifespan. That may seem wild to many of you. Where is the outcry? Well, unlike the aforementioned example of Gladiator, Kensei's modernization efforts were actually successful, and they have a kit that, although extremely old, still fits within modern For Honor, to an extent. This may sound like a good thing initially, but we will see very soon how this would eventually leave Kensei in the state they are in today. Before we get ahead of ourselves, however, we still have plenty of time to examine how exactly Kensei fared following their remaster. It's hard to gauge how strong the community actually considered Kensei after this rework, but what can certainly be inferred, at the very least, was that Kensei would have been an extremely versatile team fighter when compared to the pretty lackluster cast that existed from Year 2 to Year 3. They likely would have been placed at or near the top due to the safety within their incredibly basic but powerful kit full of hyper armor and large hitboxes. Even then, we may not consider Kensei all that powerful of a duelist, but many staple picks of today either didn't exist or operated in a much more baser form. Without heroes like Warden, Aramusha, or Highlander hogging the limelight, it's safe to say that Kensei with their rework likely found themselves as an overall solid pick in all game modes. Years would go by and most characters would similarly be released in a pretty lackluster form when compared to today, and so Kensei remained an extremely safe pick. And then, the Fire Nation attacked. Now, Blackbriar probably wasn't, definitely wasn't the most broken hero on their launch of all time, but their release signified a huge shift in how Ubisoft handled their newer hero releases. The board meeting for it probably going something like this. Hey, guys? So the money's not looking too good since 95% of our player base since launch has left after literally the first month of the game being out, and our whole company is kind of starting to dissolve under the pressure put on by multiple horrible game releases in a row. If we want people to buy early access DLC heroes, we might have to actually make them good. My god, he's a genius. And then nothing bad ever happened at Ubisoft again. Starting with the end of year 3, new hero releases were starting to power creep older ones. The things newer heroes were able to get away with were absolutely ridiculous compared to what the older cast had at their disposal. I mean, look at this. Blackbriar is literally flipping a guy with telekinesis. This is not exactly a critique of that, since old For Honor looks as fun as watching paint dry, but it doesn't take a genius to realize that it meant that the older heroes were simply being phased out of the meta. Kensei was luckily not a huge victim of this initially. Heroes like Blackbriar, Griffin, and Warmonger may have been absolute menaces, but they still had certain weaknesses that required a bit of a varied composition. Kensei, being an all-arounder, meant that they could plug holes basically any team had, at even just an adequate level, and they even excelled in a few markets. Still recognized as a strong pick, Kensei would be entering year 4 of For Honor a balanced hero, but the trend of increasingly powerful heroes and reworks that were to come spelled doom for our unfortunate Vanguard friend. Year 4 was around the time the game started to resemble what we are more familiar with today. Characters like Pirate, Orochi, and Shaolin released or were reworked into a state that was extremely safe, had very little flaws in their kit, and tons of tools that could completely shut down certain heroes. Kensei didn't mind it much, at least not in the beginning, but as time went on and more releases and reworks came out in a similar state to these heroes, they were starting to lose favor in the meta. There has really only been one large Kensei nerf throughout the years that seriously impacted their viability, in the universal dodge attack nerf that made it so all dodge attacks were now light parry punishes. Since Kensei relied on them so much for their viability in teamfighting game modes, this nerf hit them the hardest, though it wouldn't be the final nail in their coffin. Instead, there was no final nail. It was simply death by 1,000 cuts. That leaves Kensei where they are today, considered a relatively mid-tier pick in both game modes and lacking a lot of features that newer releases have baked into their kits. What is most interesting to me, however, is how exactly we got here. It's no secret that the developers are quite underfunded given, I'm gonna stop bringing that up. And so the way resources are internally allocated is likely based on player sentiment. This is ultimately the reason why Kensei, along with many other heroes who haven't received much love over the years, don't get the modernization they are all well deserving of. Simply put, the community just doesn't care enough, it seems, to get such ideas through to Ubisoft. We complained for years because Yorm and Highlander were highly exploitable low-tier heroes, and now they sit comfortably at the higher end of tier lists. People complained about Lawbringer because the only thing he had going for him was his extremely oppressive defense, and now we have one of the most brain-dead duelists in the game. And then there's Warden, who for years was extremely jank and unintuitive to play, who would then be buffed to have everything and the kitchen sink in his kit. I mean seriously, did he really need an unreactable nuke that does 70 damage? But for heroes like Kensei, there was never enough outrage to usher in change. For now, we are stuck with a hero who kind of feels underwhelming. Their design was certainly very ahead of its time, but that was only true for year 2 For Honor. For the so-called mix-up artists, only half of their soft lanes act as a functional mix-up. Their offense feels clunky and dull, and many of the niches they fulfill have been taken over by heroes with less weaknesses and cover more bases. And that final point is why Kensei feels so weak. What incentive is there to pick Kensei over other heroes? The answer? There isn't one. Let's take a look at some of the biggest problems holding back Kensei. Firstly, their offense feels incredibly shoehorned. Kensei's only viable mix-up for neutral is the Pommel Strike soft feint. Despite having dedicated light and heavy soft feints from neutral, neither one of these moves have any sort of properties that would make them useful tools for opening an enemy. The light is not enhanced, nor quick, it's literally just a regular light attack that requires a startup. The heavy is an equally worse option. Sure, it's safer than throwing a light with no properties, but this soft feint literally just adds more startup to what would have been a regular neutral heavy mix-up. With some changes to these two attacks, we can solve Kensei's biggest issues in neutral game. By increasing the speed of the light attack to at least 433 ms, they can have a mix-up out of neutral similar to Hatun, while giving the heavy hyper armor will do two things actually. It will give Kensei neutral hyper armor, obviously, and it will also solve a pretty big problem that Pommel Strike has. Although the soft feint bash functions pretty well, it is an incredibly unsafe neutral opener. It is noticeably weak to dodge attacks, which is not inherently a bad thing, but when compared to other heroes who have similar neutral game, most, if not all, have some sort of answer for dodge attacks, whether it be hyper armor or recovery cancel. A hyper armored heavy, if it were part of Kensei's kit, would give them a safe option for, at the very least, trading with enemies who dodge attack out of neutral, while also making their team fighting abilities slightly more effective with a way to brute force hyper armor without having to start a chain. The middle of Kensei's chain is the final part I would possibly want retouched, though this one may be a bit of a touchy subject. You see, Kensei is one of the last heroes in the game to be allowed extremely high damage, because unlike most heroes, accessing their finishers is blocked off by a longer than usual chain. If we incorporated the soft feint buffs to his neutral attacks into the rest of his chains, it may make the final unblockable finisher mix-up extremely oppressive, though that is entirely speculative, and in perspective this is likely not as big as an issue as I'm making it out to be, seeing as way more heroes get away with way more crazy things without any of the downsides Kensei has. Ultimately, it is inherently true for basically any game ever to have high tier characters, low tier characters, and those who fall in between. Although it's alright for Kensei to be middle of the pack, jack of some trades, the mid-tiers of For Honor's past have nothing on the mid-tiers of today. They may be in a relatively balanced state, but it is in no way healthy in my opinion. And objectively speaking, it has been a long time since any effort to modernize Kensei has taken place. The thesis of this video being an advocacy in favor of For Honor's first samurai. But unfortunately, that is not what the rest of this video is about. Instead, have all of the leftover clips I gathered in the making of this video.
Ah, I see, you're going for the latter. Miyagi thinks that is a fine strategy.
Shut the fuck up!
Daniel, you need to ride the Miyagi meat.
Daniel-san, to beat your enemy, you must fuck your enemy.
You must fuck your enemy. It beats them. You must beat off your enemy.
Well, I got it, yeah.
Miyagi waits for his moment to strike.
Miyagi is being a pussy.
To defeat your enemy, you must sit on your home point and boost. Ow, that hurt like a motherfucker.
That hurt like
Pirate, that was my kill. Oh, I don't get execution for that kill.
It is because you are Japanese.
No, I'm from San Francisco.
Alright.
I'm from Arizona.
My best friend is from Arizona, and he got his PC taken by the cops. So.
No. I hope that was not relevant to the conversation, to the context I was talking about, because that guy's talking Hitler.
Come here, Highlander.
Oh, I'm dead.
Let me show you why they call me daddy. Let me show you why they call me daddy.
Only light spams.
Nishi does. Do you need help? Okay.
Help.
Wish I can.
Oh, I win that. I win those.
We can't lose. The Skylanders are watching.
Yeah.
Is the bad ninja watching?
Yes.
Oh, I'm dead.
Yes, Stealth Elf is watching.
Stealth Elf is a baddie.
Oh,
God, we would all crack Swashbuckler.
Oh, yeah.
I think your presence.
She's coming up to you guys. She came up the ladder.
She's coming.
She's a coming.
She is no longer. Why are we still doing this?
I don't know.
I don't
You
know.
started it.
That is true.
You started
It is
it.
not true.
I don't think it's possible to react to the orange blue mix-up, but if you try to bait it out with like a heavy, I can differentiate the heavy from the kick.
Yeah, you stare
Watch
at
this
his
shit.
hips, and then you wait for the orange unblockable symbol to pop up, and then you
That
just dodge in the
sounds
direction.
kind of gay, Gojo.
Check this out.
Come here. Okay, I'm checking. Sure.
Or in the center of his body near the hips. So if you just stare at that region, you can always react to it.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
And
am
then I
lagging?
just don't react to that because I'm a dumb fucking ape. Oh my god, why am I...
Ooh! Ooh! Oh, that's Specs!
They,
Oh, shit.
they
Yes, I
call
could
me the
differentiate
Nikkei
that.
30 of For Honor. Okay. Never mind, because I'm gonna fucking kill you!
Who's the king? I'm the king.
I'm the king.
I'm the king, actually.
I'm the king. Quick, someone said the N-word, like that one time when he played with Ice Speed.
You think you're the king? I'm the king.
Nice fellow.
Oh wait,
Have
I was
a
about to
life.
play a soundboard, but if not, I mean.
If not, no, you can just say it raw. Don't worry, man.
Yeah, I do not, I don't do numbers. Oh, no.
Oh my god!
You are an actual
You're an
terrible
ape.
at
You are an
everything.
ape.
You're terrible.
Oh my lord.
You
Just plug his channel in your channel, and then yeah, just be like, hey, don't forget to.
Don't
What
forget
do I want to play?
to subscribe to this guy who beats his girlfriend.
I
Says
told.
racial
Okay,
slurs.
first off,
No, oh no.
I don't have a girlfriend. I am as single as a Pringle right now, so I don't
He's in
beat
a-
anyone.
What
He's
did
in a
you just
situa- He's in
say?
a situation.
Oh my days.
Single as a Pringle? How does this man pull?
Yeah, yeah.
And he's
because
ginger.
I'm tall. Yeah. I'm
Oh,
tall.
that makes sense.
All right, come here, you serial rapist. What the fuck? That was instant.
Oh, I am lagging a little bit, that's why.
Oh yeah, you guys. These delayed.
I commit.
These delayed streams are kind of.
Whoa! Okay, that was my
What are
lag.
you doing to this?
I don't know how to make my stream undelayed. I like fiddle with it for like 30 minutes.
They vanished.
Nonsense! They're just moving very fast. Try to feel out their energies.
Desu,
Yeah, should I
Desu.
kill myself?
We're having a poll right now in chat. Should I end my life? Oh,
Right
one
now,
vote?
I should
One
kill
vote?
myself.
Yes? Okay.
Unanimous decision, one vote. That's great.
Oh, I tried to deflect that too late.
Oh yeah, eat that. Eat that. Stop
Ooh,
dodge
yeah,
attacking,
keep
you
talking to me like that.
monkey.
Oh my god, I just blocked that instant light. What the f? I'm gonna keep dodge checking. I'm gonna keep dodge checking.
Stop it.
None of that. None of that.
Finally.
Oh my god, my Kensei is kicking his leg up. He is stiff as a board.
See,
I missed that, by the way,
see,
because of my lag. It was all because of lag.
Yeah, 100%, bro.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Excuse.
Oh, how did I not deflect that? What? I literally pressed dodge.
Okay, on my screen that is like instantaneous.
Yeah, it just happened to me right now. Oh god, the one shot. So high is coming. Oh, that hasn't confirmed anything though. Idiot. What a bill!
Oh, hi, Mark.
What a bill! What a bill!
Lord, please stop giving me the strongest battles.
My brother in Christ, you're playing for honor. Can I get another T? I'm at 1 HP. No, actually I have the Sai with me.
Dude, just
Oh,
bend him over and
he just
spank him
confirmed
fucking hard.
this Arabusha's ring the bell on me. You've got to be kidding me. Are you my teammate? Can I get a peel? Thank you. Oh, actually, what's the fuck? Thank you, Arabusha, actually. Get you off that. Ooh, look at that max punish. Ooh, Katun's coming.
Dude, I'm gonna max punish someone's pussy, bro.
Yeah!
Alright, I believe you.
Ooh, that's gonna be
actually,
Rapace.
You know what?
Thank you for the peel, man. Warmonger. I was gonna call her a Lawbringer. Can you do a bash hit up for me, please?
Oh, come on, you. Alright, you know what?
Could you please bash this, sir?
You wanted me to bash, huh?
Okay, well, I also would have liked if you did the confirmed light that comes after it. Oh, never mind, that also works. Go rotate, go rotate.
Ow.
Okay, never mind, there's another one. Actually, hold on, I'm gonna leave you to die because they want to come to the point, and I won't let them.
Brother, please don't leave me here.
I gotta cut. Michael! Michael, don't leave me! Oh, high primer?
Oh, that did so much damage.
Yeah, because of fear
And
itself.
I'm dead. Bro, how about they fear my fucking ball sack?
Why don't they?
Yeah, why don't they? That shit's so sexy.
Oh, damn.
What? Oh, you died. You just spontaneously fell over. EV joins Discord. Threatens to join once again.
I'm staying. You can't stop me. You can't stop me.
You know, Evie sounds like this
I did
one
not
YouTuber I used to watch when I was in middle school. I did not team.
God,
His name
I
was
get tired of my voice.
and then his name was. He used to play with this guy. He edited for Meaty Marley. He was a famous Rainbow Six Siege YouTuber.
I hate Rainbow Six Siege.
And then
Yeah, you've lost me.
the guy I'm talking about who sounds like Evie, he became a Christian YouTuber just out of nowhere. But he was like a doomsday Christian YouTuber. Like he thought the rapture was coming.
What the f? No, you're shitting me.
Yep.
Oh wait, you're streaming? Oh right, I don't have Twitch on this.
I do not stream on Twitch. I will have you know.
Good. You'd be banned. 2
Yeah.
second stops.
I know.
Oh, corruption! Get away from me, everyone! Okay.
Let me sign in.
What?
Thank you for the setup, sir.
Does she
Do it
know?
again? No! Those who know.
That's
Ooh! The very balanced.
It's me.
He, like, in the videos he would upload were like, I can't remember. I just remember they all had to do with like rapture, and he thought the rapture was coming, and he was. I don't know if it was rage bait or something, but it made no sense to me, dude. I like confirmed out of stamina. Ah, get out of here.
I'm just gonna throw heavies and another heavy, and you're dead. Okay.
Oh shit. Oh, dodge. Oh yeah, there you go. Nature's Wrath always works. That's both.
Oh yeah. Fair enough.
Oh, come on now. No.
Oh, what? I should have fainted that so I could block. Ooh, another execution. I think I have all my headhunter stacks now. Oh, nice trap, nice trap. This'll get him.
Oh, you got it. You got me.
My kill. I stole the kill.
No,
they.
I was expecting.
I have critical brain damage.
Okay.
You know, I actually, when I was 4 years old, one time I was spinning in my room for no reason because I thought it was funny, I guess, and then I hit my head on the back of a plastic tub, and now I have a scar on the back of my head where hair doesn't grow.
That's awesome, dude.
We call that
I think
a
that-
medal.
I
I
think
think-
like a basketball when I came out.
I think it explains a lot. Sometimes when I'm like, where did I go wrong? I'm like, oh yeah, it all started there.
You do stutter a lot, so it does kind of tell. Yeah.
It is not true. And that was the story of Kensei, the Overshadowed Vanguard. If you're watching this video the day it went live, later this day and for the following couple days, I'm going to be live on Twitch with my friend. I promise we're only very mildly mentally deficient, I swear.
Do I want to play for Knights? Shing shing. Or do I want to play for Vikings? Hi! Do I want to play for Samurai? Hui! Hui! Low-key Vikings because they got Thor, nigga.
He's going to be playing For Honor for the first time, and I'm going to be teaching him how to do so. And just recently we did hit 3,000 subscribers, so in celebration of that, on his stream will be the official Macho face reveal. But if you're not interested in that, that was all for today. I held my polls for the hero deep dives in my Discord channel, and so I already have the next 4 lined up. It's probably going to go in this order. It's going to go Jormungandr, and then I think Tiandi, and then Warlord, and then I think Orochi, if I remember correctly. Something like that. I think Warlord might come before Tiandi, I have to check again. But yeah, that's the end of the video. I've been doing this stuff for almost a full year now, and I still have no idea how to end it. So, yeah, I guess that's it. see you guys later.
Alright, Ty, I hope you can tell me all these, what the controls are.
I can give you a rundown.
Why don't you run me down?
Eli,
What?
what does that mean?